only thing missing is I gotta find a little riser, a little hookup to put a little vertical hand grip right here. So I've got that added stability. I could slide this back and use my mag, but I don't want to do that. Another thing I'm thinking about doing is flipping this tank and mounting it somewhere here so that it's not quite as front heavy. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. I think I'm going to get a longer barrel for the FN303. You can get an auto cocker to, this is only like a 10-inch barrel. I have cranked up the regulator a bit. If you crank it up too far, you start leaking air when you engage the ASA. And because the internals on this are a bit more complicated, I can't get replacement parts, and I'm uncertain as to what I'm doing. I'm taking it real slow with the FN303. I'm enjoying the hell out of shooting it at 40 to 45 joules. If I get a longer barrel, I'll be at 50 joules, not a problem, and I don't need to be any stronger than that. My favorite thing about the FN303 is that I just don't have any problems with it. Whereas the VKS, the FSC, every other marker I have, it's a labor of love. I've had so many it's like as soon as I solve one problem, a new one comes up right now. But I just love the FN303. And that's why. A couple more words about the FN303, why I love this marker so much. The only complaint I really hear from anyone that said anything when I've made post is that, you know, they max out at about 40 to 45 joules when you crank it up. You crank any further than that on the regulator, you'll start leaking air. I'm sure I mean, if I put a longer barrel on it, which I'm gonna do, they take auto cocker barrels with a little bit of modding, I'll get 50 joules, not a problem, and that's all I need. I am not a joule freak. I am not a power freak when it comes to these. I got into this because I wanted less lethal weapons. It's cool that the VKS, that I can get my VKS to 70 joules with a little bit of tank shimming and a stock barrel with the regulator up all the way. But I don't need that. I don't really have any desire at all to get to 80 or 90 or 100 joules and beyond, because at that point you've got, for all intents and purposes, a lethal marker. There's absolutely nothing less lethal about a marker that's set to fire at 100 joules. It's going to go right through anybody and anything. So I am totally fine to only be getting 45 to 50 joules, or 40 to 45 joules out of this. And the reason why is because what I'm a freak about is fucking reliability. I'm so goddamn sick of performing surgeries on every other marker I have. The CQMF, the FSC, the VKS. These are great markers. I love the VKS. I adore it. But it is a labor of love. There's work you have to do on it before you can even get it to work properly, between the O-ring and Loctiting your set screw. And then you're gonna have quirky things as time goes by. You're gonna have jams, it's gonna have issues. It's just, you know, it's a good gun and it's reliable to a degree, but any marker you're gonna get into, you have to learn it inside and out. You have to learn how to build it up and tear it down, how to fix it when it breaks, because it will break often. And all you got to do is watch everybody's videos to realize that if you want to get into this, you have to have a passion for it. if you get annoyed by problem solving your marker, this is not the hobby for you. They all have their funny quirks and issues and ways that they can be very problematic and require a lot of learning and time. Except the FN303. This is German made by FN303. They don't sell it to the public, and it's built to fire 5,000 rounds before it needs its first servicing. And I've got 4 of these, but I'm only using 1 right now, and with this one, I'm 2,500 rounds there, about. And I have not had a single problem with this marker. I love it so much. It's crazy accurate. It's got hardly any kickback because it's a blow forward design. I don't mind. A lot of people hate that front mounted tank. I don't mind it at all. Eventually I'm going to figure out a way to hook this up to a 15-4500 Hero carbon fiber tank, and I may take this and flip it and mount it back here so the gun's not so front heavy, because I mount that underneath my VKS to have fun with, and when I do that, it gets a little front heavy. So there's still a lot of modding and playing that I have to do with this, but man, oh man, if you can get your hands on one of these, get it. They cost between $1,200 to $1,600 online if you can find some outlet that's selling one. I got a steal of a deal on these, but no, I'm not selling any of them yet. Maybe down the road. I'd like to sell an ultimate package, to tell you the truth. Let me show you something here. I say I want to sell an ultimate package. Here's what I mean by that. That is my ultimate package. It's a VKS with an FN303 that has the mount underneath the VKS, so you can mount the front of the FN303 underneath it. It's in a top-of-the-line carrying case with a bunch of extra carbon fiber tanks and a bunch of extra magazines. And that tank on the FN303 can shoot 90 rounds, so you don't really need an extra tank on that. I mean, I've got them, but you don't really need them. This is the kind of package I want to sell if I'm going to sell one of my FN303s, just because of all of the stuff that comes with it, but because of the learning curve the time it took me to put all this together and to figure out. It's just a lot. That goes right there when I'm carrying it. That's my ultimate. One case, I can have fun for 2 hours out in the middle of nowhere. It's just an extremely versatile weapon.